Dear Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General, United Nations Organization, we're a group of Mexican citizens who work in and around culture and the arts. We respectfully want to pose you a series of questions. How many deaths is the standard for the UN to declare that a state crime has been committed? How many human corpses must be counted for the UN to act? How many human corpses are needed in order to schedule an emergency meeting? How many human corpses are needed for you to make a formal recommendation? How many human corpses are needed in order for the UN, in full compliance with international law and through its institutional channels at large, to issue a resolution? How many human corpses are needed for the UN to impose economic sanctions? How many forced disappearances are needed for the UN to issue a strong denunciation? How many displaced citizens are necessary for the UN to declare a humanitarian crisis? Do you know that nearly 1 million people in Mexico have been forced out of their homes? Do you know that almost 180,000 people have been killed in Mexico, our country, and there has still not been a single institutional intervention from the UN? Do you know that entire communities have been razed to the ground? Do you know that there are approximately 35,000 forced disappearances? Are the UN parameters so narrow that the Mexican case does not qualify as genocide? And yet, you have not intervened. How many human corpses do you need to assume a position regarding the current situation in Mexico? How many human remains are needed for you to declare that a state crime has been committed in Mexico? To make our voices heard by Mr. Ban Ki-moon, UN Secretary General, we are reaching out to the student community, intellectuals, people who work in culture and the arts, and the citizens of the world to sign this letter and demand the intervention of the United Nations.